My name is Pauline Mapovire, broadcasting live from our Tech TV studios, and these are the news in headlines. Chief Justice Malaba removal plot intensifies. ZRP robs Interpol on gold smuggling as calls for reform to curb machete gangs intensify. Chief Rimba summons Grace over Mugabe. And in our business, Zimbabwe dollar further drops against US at yesterday's forest auction. In technology, locals in health digital drive. In our regional news, Zulu Royal House dismisses dispute reports overthrown. Chief Justice Malaba removal plot intensifies. The battle for the highest job in the court is far from over as Zimbabwe's High Court and Supreme Court judges once confirmed existence of the capture of judiciary by politicians as they hit out at manipulative Chief Justice Luke Malaba in a stinging letter addressed 7 months ago to President Emmerson Mnangagwa. 7 months later, human rights lawyers and civil groups are piling legal pressure for Chief Justice Luke Malaba to resign ahead of his 70th birthday on Saturday, instead of accepting a flawed extension of his retirement age by 5 more years through the recently signed constitutional amendment. Malaba turned 70 this Saturday and was set to retire according to the Constitution before President Emmerson Mnangagwa last week hastily signed the Constitution of Zimbabwe, Amendment Number 2 bill into law, which will now allow judges to continue serving the bench until they reach 75. Chief Rimba summons Grace over Mugabe. Chief Rimba has summoned Grace Mugabe to appear before a village court on charges of inappropriately burying the late former President Robert Mugabe. The chief wants Grace to exhume her late husband's body and rebury it at a gravesite where his mother, Bona, was laid to rest. She is expected to attend the village court next week on Thursday at Gonzoguja Hall in Murombezi Growth Point at 9:30 a.m. The development was announced in a letter circulating on social media dated April 29, 2021, making the accusations and demands. Zimbabwe dollar further drops against US at yesterday's forest auction. RBZ Governor Dr. John Mangunjwa has not found it easy as the Zimbabwe dollar continues to shed value against the US dollar. According to the latest results from the Reserve Bank of Zimbabwe's foreign exchange auction, the weighted average fell slightly from $1 as to 84.5282 RTGS last week to $1 as to 84.6140 this week. In total, $42 million was allotted this week, with the bulk of the allotment going to raw materials, followed by machinery and equipment. ZRP robs Interpol on gold smuggling as calls for reforms to curb machete gangs intensify. The government has been urged to implement administrative gold sourcing and mining reforms in the artisanal mining sector to ensure traceability and accountability of minerals. Zimbabwe's Republic Police have widened investigations into the smuggling of 23 gold pieces worth $783,000 by a Zimbabwean who was arrested in South Africa and are waiting for a detailed report from Interpol officials based in Pretoria, which will be critical in assisting the inquiry. The call comes after criminal activities by marauding gangs of machete attackers that have resulted in murder, rape, assault, housebreaking, and stock theft throughout the country. This comes on the backdrop of the emergence of a terror group known as Mashurugwi merchant gangs, who are allegedly gold kingpins behind most smugglings. Locals in Health Digital Drive. The Ministry of Health and Childcare has come up with an electronic health system called Impilo, which is set to help in the effective of monitoring and tracking patients countrywide. Speaking during a post-cabinet briefing, Information, Publicity and Broadcasting Services Minister Monica Muchangwa said the system was developed by an all-inclusive 100% Zimbabwean technical team and licensed under the Ministry of Health. AmaZulu Royal House dismisses dispute over throne. Durban reports indicate that there are no disputes over the AmaZulu throne. Prince Simakade Zulu, the son of the late King Goodwill Zwelithini, has rubbished claims that is opposing the appointment of the new AmaZulu King Misuzulu. In a letter written to AmaZulu traditional Prime Minister Mangosuthu Buthelezi, Prince Simakade says he supports the endorsement of Prince Misuzulu as the monarch. There is no dispute at present over the throne, Buthelezi said. Buthelezi is pleading with the public to stop spreading misleading information about the royal family. This comes in the wake of social media speculations that the king is compelled to marry before he can issue decrees. While matters of the royal family are of public interest, Buthelezi says the public will not be allowed to dictate the affairs of the family. That's all we had for you. Remember to like our Facebook page, techmag.tv, and follow us on YouTube, techmag.tv. Follow us on Twitter at techmag.tv. From me and the crew behind the scenes, it's bye for now.